Hey, what's going on? Welcome back to the channel. In this video, we're going to be taking a look at Egld. I do want to say that I'm not a financial advisor. You should do your own research before investing money into crypto. If you haven't seen the previous update, make sure to watch that before watching this one. It's going to be linked in the top right-hand corner of the screen. And before we jump into the TA, I quickly want to mention the donation link down below in the description. Feel free to support the kids in Gaza right now. They're in need of our help. And if you have a few spare bucks lying around, feel free to donate that. But let's get straight into the TA now. Taking a look at the daily chart, as you can see, we had a super cool breakout here from the October low, and Egld has been doing really well, 133% in around about a month. We have been buying this thing on the way down throughout the past year and a half, or I would say less than a year and a half, but we have a pretty good position in Egld, one of my top 10 projects in my portfolio. Obviously, you were advised of all of my purchases. We were buying up here, we were buying down here as well. And if you didn't manage to buy any coins at these lower prices for some reason, you still have an opportunity. You just have to be patient because there is going to be a retracement, of course. Now, I can't guarantee that the retracement is going to take you all the way back down to these lows below $30, right? I can't guarantee that, but what I can almost guarantee is that there will be some sort of a retracement because there is always a retracement, especially when you have such a powerful move to the upside, and we're not in the bull market yet. So what we can do is we can set up a Fibonacci retracement here. Perfect double bottom pattern here, by the way. Absolutely love the way this played out. We were targeting this low as well in October here. So we managed to come up all the way to approximately, if you want to count the wick, $53, which is essentially a retest of this February 2023 high. And we are going to be making our way back down, and you can see the golden ratio immediately here is between $33 and $30. So that is going to be your golden pocket. That is where you want to be buying your tokens, or your coins if you want to say that. But you don't want to be waiting until you drop back down to $24. Now, it may happen if we get a black swan, if the markets just start dipping, we get some FUD thrown around. It may happen, of course, but there is a chance that it won't. So you don't want to be sitting on the sidelines with your cash over here while you're waiting for the price to come all the way back down to these prices simply because they were there at some point in the past. You know, that's not how the markets work. They don't work based on your needs, right? So you have to adjust yourself and your buy limit orders depending on what the market is doing. So if the sentiment is flipping bullish, if we are breaking through massive resistance levels, for example, $36 to $38 was a massive resistance level. We broke above it here. So what we need to do right now is we need to come back down to the purple support block and hold that as support. Your next block below is going to be this area over here, the golden ratio between $33 and $30. So if for some reason you lose both of those, then just feel free to dollar cost average in at any point here. This is going to be an amazing point. Like below $30, that's a really good entry for Egld. At the current prices, personally, I wouldn't buy any. I already have coins, so I'm not really chasing this, and I'm definitely not going to be chasing any pumps. But you definitely want to be waiting for a retracement. So from this local high, we're going to be expecting a 32% retracement back down to $36, and down to the $30 mark, it's going to be a 43.75% retracement, which is possible. It is quite a hefty pullback. So I would say be, conservative with your expectations. Don't expect the price to dump just because you want to enter the coin. I already explained how that can go south for you real quick. The price can simply, come back down to $35, and from there we have another explosion to the upside into 60s and 70s and 80s. So you do not want to be left on the sidelines. Yes, you potentially missed out on these lows. Yes, you potentially missed out on some gains here, but if you're able to buy in at $35 to $30, you still have a really good entry point. And as long as we don't break above this August 2022 high at $70, I'm not going to tell you that the bear market low has been printed, because as you can see, for the past year and a half, we have been in this massive downtrend. And each time you keep printing lower highs, And unless that changes, we can't really expect, to continue to the upside. So what we need to do is we need to see a break of $70 here. And once we see that, that is a very, very strong indicator telling us that the bear market low has been printed. So $22.65 is going to be your bear market low. And when you're above $70, we can officially state that, we're 99% sure that the bear market bottom has been printed. Of course, excluding any black swan events or any wars that may start and just destroy the markets in a day, and will be in the COVID 2020 situation, which in all honesty was an amazing opportunity to buy the lows there. And that's what I would have been suggesting you guys do if I was making videos back then, but I wasn't. So this is the situation we're looking at. So unless we break that, I'm not going to say that we flipped bullish, and we're going to be going to the moon. No. Until we break above $70, we're still in this consolidation period. We're still in this potential downtrend that is still ongoing. Unless we start breaking through some of these highs, we can't really start, flipping bullish. Now, taking a look here at the daily RSI, you can see that the RSI really got overextended. We were sitting at the index of 90 here, and that's a point where you should have been taking profits if you were planning to do that, right? If you got in at $23, $25 and you were simply looking to exit when you hit a 2x, then that's where you should have been exiting, of course. You should have had your sell limit order ready and set up in advance. And right now, if you're looking to buy in potentially, right, at a discount, then you should be looking for retracement back down to either the levels that I mentioned already, or we're going to take a look at the weekly chart and I'll show you some other levels you can eyeball. And before we continue with the video, I quickly want to mention my Patreon that's linked down below in the description. If you enjoy my content, you want to get more exclusive content, and you want to support me at the same time, definitely feel free to check out the Patreon, because you're going to get a 7-day free access on my Patreon and an instant access to all of my content since October 2021, which is when I started. You'll get access to content like exclusive weekly podcasts, and we're starting to invite guests already. We have 40 plus low cap gem posts. We have a bunch of project reviews. We have a bunch of resources that are going to help you save time and make more money with this upcoming bull market. So this is definitely a great exchange of value for the both of us. And once again, there's a 7-day free trial. Feel free to check it out. You can leave anytime, and let's continue with the video. Switching over to the weekly chart. Now you can see we have a descending broadening wedge here, which ended up breaking to the upside as it usually does. And the bullish thing about Egld is that we're holding the 55 EMA as support. If you have watched my recent theta update, which should be out on the channel right now as we are speaking, theta is actually below the 55 weekly EMA, so it's holding that level as resistance when Egld is doing the exact opposite here, and this is a really bullish sign. So it's a good thing, of course. It's not good for people who still haven't bought into the project, but this is good for me because I already have my bag and I'm staking on the Ledger Live app. Now you can see there is a really powerful $37 support level here, and that level has been tested here in July 2023 as resistance over there, and then we saw a capitulation from there, and we broke above a few levels, a few resistance levels. So first of all, we broke above the 20 EMA, then we broke above the $37 resistance level, and we also broke above this descending teal resistance trend line that we've had since August 2022. So coming back down and retesting all of those levels at the same time would be a great thing to do, to be honest with you. So $35 to $40 would be an incredible area for you to secure that bag, get some coins, and hope that we're gonna pump from there. But if we continue dipping from there, it's still fine, right? It's not the end of the world. You haven't gone all in because you're not a degen. You can still continue buying in and bringing down that average buying price. For example, your next point can be $30 here, which is this June 2023 local low. That would be a nice level for you to look at in case the retracement gets deeper. Right? And taking a look at the weekly chart here on the RSI, we had a really good bounce off of the golden support block that I gave you. This was an incredible entry point, guys. We talked about this level for many months, and finally we had a nice bounce here off of the index of 30 roughly, and then we slightly got oversold. Actually, we did not even get oversold, right? Yeah. So we were sitting at the index of 30.5, and from there, absolute explosion. So if we compare that to the price action, so this was right about here. So $23, $24, $22 is where you should have been buying. If you did listen to my videos before that, you potentially are sitting at an 87%, 89% profit. Now the stochastic on the weekly is a bit overbought, a bit overextended, so this goes to show that, you know, we're potentially going to be looking at a retracement, a healthy retracement back down to these levels, so we're going to be losing the 55 EMA after all. However, this is looking, you know, stronger than the theta chart because theta is already below a resistance level. So if we decide to continue pumping, right, we've already gathered some strength off of the 55 EMA, we've consolidated for a bit, and we could see another explosion because one could argue is that we're potentially printing some sort of a pennant here. Some sort of a pennant, and you're going to have a massive, massive explosion from there if you want to be technical about it and you really want to see what the target is going to be. You know, $64 is what you're going to be looking at, which is essentially the August 20, which is essentially, you know, the October 2022 and the August 2022 highs. That is if this bullish tenant plays out the way it's supposed to play out, right? Because there's still a chance we're going to see a breakdown from here. But those are the price levels I'd like you guys to look at. A bit of volume coming into Multiverse, so not too much, but still better than what we've seen throughout 2022. And if we're looking at the overall Fibonacci retracement for the next bull market, we are targeting $935 as our minimal target. And I think that is a fair expectation. Looking at how the project was developed, looking at how the project has grown since the previous bull market, I think it's a really logical expectation of us at least breaking the all-time high and getting to $500 to $600. I think that's going to be happening. And let me know what are your bull market targets. Let me know what are your average buy-in prices into Egld. I'd be really interested to know. And thank you all for watching this video. Stay safe and take care.